Hey, history lovers, tonight you'll discover why a simple Roman bath was more than just water, how a loaf of bread could mean belonging, and why the city's heartbeat was felt in every shared meal, every whispered prayer, every quiet friendship. What time is it for you right now? Isn't it wonderful that from America to Europe to Asia, we're all gathered here, sharing this gentle moment? So settle in, let your thoughts drift, and let's dive into the story. Close your eyes and let the gentle hush of the night settle around you, as if you are lying beneath a sky brushed with the faintest silver of dawn. The world still wrapped in the softest shadows, the air cool and expectant, and the city of Rome, ancient and immense, stirs quietly, as it has for centuries, beneath the watchful gaze of its 7 hills. Imagine, for a moment, that you are not yourself, but a visitor, a silent observer, gently woven into the fabric of a world that is both familiar and impossibly distant, a world where the very rhythm of time itself is different, where the day does not begin with the shrill insistence of an alarm clock, nor the glow of a digital screen, but with the slow, deliberate unfolding of light, the distant crow of a rooster, and the soft, persistent murmur of a city waking from its slumber. A Roman day, you see, does not belong to you. It belongs to the city, to the empire, to the ancient gods, and the ever-turning wheel of tradition. And as you lie there, on a simple straw mattress, the rough linen of your tunic brushing against your skin, you feel the weight of that tradition pressing gently upon you, urging you to rise, to greet the day as countless others have before you. There is no privacy here, not in the way you know it. For the insulae, those towering apartment blocks of brick and timber, are alive with the sounds of neighbors, of footsteps above and below, of whispered conversations and the clatter of wooden sandals on stone. The air is thick with the scent of oil lamps, of last night's bread, of the faint, ever-present tang of the Tiber drifting through open windows. You rise, not because you wish to, but because the city demands it, because the day is measured not by your own desires, but by the slow, inexorable march of the Roman hours, divided, not into the neat, mechanical minutes and seconds of your world, but into 12 uneven segments, stretching and shrinking with the seasons, so that the very concept of time is fluid, uncertain, and always just out of reach. The first hour, the hora prima, is a gentle thing, a time for quiet preparation, for the washing of faces in cold water, drawn from a communal fountain, for the donning of simple garments, for the careful arrangement of hair, and the soft, murmured prayers to household gods, the Lares and Penates, whose tiny clay figures watch over you from their niche in the wall, their painted eyes faded but still kind. You feel the roughness of the stone beneath your feet as you step into the narrow corridor, the coolness of the morning air brushing against your skin, the distant sound of a street vendor's call drifting up from below, and you realize, with a quiet sense of awe, that you are part of something vast and ancient, a city that has seen empires rise and fall, that has endured fire and flood, triumph and tragedy, and yet, in this moment, is simply waking, as it always has. Breakfast is a modest affair, a piece of coarse bread, perhaps dipped in a little olive oil, a handful of dried figs. The taste is earthy, simple, and yet, as you eat, you are aware of the layers of history in every bite, and knowledge that this same meal has sustained generations, that the bread is baked in communal ovens, the figs gathered from orchards that have stood for centuries. There is no coffee, no tea, no sweet pastries or rich creams, only the honest flavors of the land, the quiet satisfaction of hunger met and stilled. And as you eat, you listen to the city, to the distant rumble of carts on cobblestones, the laughter of children, the low, melodic chanting of a priest passing by, his robes trailing dust in the morning light. The city is alive, but it is not. Yours, not yet, for every street, every building, Every custom is shaped by rules and rhythms that are not your own. And as you step out into the day, you feel the strangeness of it all. The sense that you are walking through a dream, a world, both beautiful and bewildering, where the very air seems to hum with the weight of history. You would not last a day, perhaps, not because the world is cruel, but because it is so utterly, quietly different, because the comforts and certainties you know are absent, replaced by 1,000 small rituals, 1,000 unspoken rules, and yet, as you walk through the waking city, you cannot help but feel a gentle wonder, a sense of belonging to something greater, something timeless. The sun climbs higher, the shadows retreat, and the city begins to pulse with life. The markets open, the forums fill with voices, the temples echo with prayers, and you, a silent observer, drift through it all, carried on the slow, ancient current of a Roman day. But let us pause and linger a little longer in this gentle morning. For the Roman sense of time is not merely a matter of hours and minutes, but a living, breathing thing, shaped by the seasons, by the festivals, by the slow, patient turning of the year. In the Roman world, the calendar is a tapestry of rituals and observances, each day marked by its own significance, its own quiet weight. And as you move through the city, you become aware of the subtle signs, the garlands of flowers draped over doorways, the faint scent of incense curling from a temple, the distant sound of a flute playing a melody that has echoed through these streets for generations. The Romans do not rush, not in the way you know, for time is not a commodity to be spent or saved, but a river to be entered, a current to be followed. And so, as you walk, you find yourself slowing, your steps growing softer, your breath deepening, as if the very air is teaching you to move at the pace of history. You pass a group of children playing in the dust, their laughter bright and clear, their games echoing those of children long gone, and you realize that, in this world, childhood is both fleeting and precious, for life is uncertain, and every moment is to be savored, every joy cherished. The city is a mosaic of sounds and scents, of colors and textures, each street a story, each building a memory, and as you wander, you feel the gentle press of the past all around you, the sense that you are walking, not just through space, but through time itself. You pause at a fountain, its water cool and clear, the marble worn smooth by countless hands, and you watch as a woman fills her jug, her movements graceful and unhurried, her face serene. And you think of all the mornings that have begun just like this, all the lives that have unfolded in the quiet light of dawn. The city is waking, but it is a slow, deliberate awakening, a gentle stretching of limbs, a soft murmur of voices, a gradual brightening of the world. And you, a stranger in this ancient place, are caught up in its rhythm, its music, its quiet magic. You would not last a day, perhaps, not because you are weak, but because the world is so different, so quietly demanding, so full of small, unspoken expectations. And yet, as you move through the morning, you find yourself longing to linger, to learn, to become a part of this ancient dance. The sun climbs higher, the city grows busier, the streets fill with merchants and craftsmen, with senators and slaves, with priests and poets, each one moving to the slow, steady beat of the Roman day, and you, a silent observer, drift among them, unseen, unnoticed, but deeply, quietly present. You pass a baker, his hands dusted with flour, his face lined with years of early mornings, and you watch as he shapes the dough, his movements practiced and precise, the smell of fresh bread, mingling with the scent of roasting chestnuts and the sharp tang of wine. You pause at a market stall, its tables piled high with fruits and vegetables, with olives and cheeses, with honey and herbs, and you listen to the soft murmur of bargaining, the gentle laughter of friends, the quiet satisfaction of a world in which every day is a gift, every meal a celebration. The city is alive, but it is a different kind of life, a life shaped by tradition, by ritual, by the slow, patient turning of the seasons, and as you move through it, you feel the gentle weight of history pressing upon you, the sense that you are part of something vast and ancient, something that will endure long after you are gone. You would not last a day, perhaps, not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently different, because it asks you to let go of your certainties, your comforts, your sense of self, and to become, for a moment, a part of something greater, something timeless. And so, as the morning unfolds, as the city wakes and stretches and begins its daily dance, you find yourself drawn deeper into the heart of the empire, into the quiet mysteries and gentle rhythms of a world that is not your own, and yet, for this moment, is yours to wander. To wonder, to dream. As the city's heartbeat grows stronger, let us drift onward to the next gentle revelation, where the art of bathing and the sacred ritual of water will wash over us like a soft, ancient tide. The city's heartbeat grows stronger, and you find yourself drawn by a quiet, persistent current, not the call of duty, nor the press of obligation, but something softer, older, woven into the very fabric of Roman life. It is the call of water, the promise of renewal, the gentle invitation to step from the dust and noise of the waking city into a world of warmth, of steam, of whispered conversation and shared ritual. For in Rome, to bathe is not merely to cleanse the body, but to enter into a sacred rhythm, a daily rite that binds the city together. And so you follow the flow of people, their footsteps, echoing softly on the worn stones, their voices low and companionable. You pass beneath an archway, its surface cool and shaded, and emerge into the bright, open courtyard of a public bath, the thermae. Here, the air is thick with the scent of olive oil and fragrant herbs, with the faint mineral tongue of water drawn from deep beneath the earth. The sound of laughter drifts on the breeze, mingling with the gentle splash of fountains and the low hum of conversation. It is a place of gathering, of community, of quiet, belonging, and as you step inside, you are enveloped by a sense of peace, of timelessness, as if the world outside has faded to a distant memory. The baths are vast, a labyrinth of marble and mosaic, of columns and vaulted ceilings. Light filters through high windows, painting the air with shifting patterns. The floors are cooled beneath your feet. Smooth and worn by generations, you move slowly, your senses alive to every detail. The warmth of the air, the softness of the light, the gentle press of bodies moving past you. There is no hurry here, no rush to be elsewhere. The bath is a world unto itself, a sanctuary from the demands of the day. You are invited to linger, to savor, to let the cares of the world slip away. You begin in the apoditerium, the changing room. Here, men and women, young and old, citizens and slaves, all shed the outer layers of their lives. Tunics are folded, sandals set aside, jewelry removed. There is a quiet democracy in this act, a gentle leveling, for in the bath all are equal. All are simply bodies seeking warmth and comfort. You feel the cool air on your skin, the slight shiver of anticipation. You watch as others anoint themselves with oil, their movements practiced and unself-conscious. The oil is thick and fragrant, pressed from olives grown on distant hillsides. It glistens on the skin, catching the light. You take a small jar, dip your fingers, and smooth the oil over your arms, your chest, your legs. The scent is earthy, green, a reminder of sunlit groves and quiet afternoons. It is both a luxury and a necessity, for the oil will protect your skin from the heat to come. It will also, in time, be scraped away, carrying with it the dust and sweat of the day, a gentle cleansing, a soft renewal. You move next to the tepidarum, the warm room. Here the air is thick and humid, the walls gleaming with condensation. The warmth seeps into your bones, loosening muscles, easing tension. You sink onto a marble bench, close your eyes, and let the heat wash over you. Around you, Voices murmur, soft and indistinct stories are shared, news exchanged, jokes told, and laughter rising like bubbles in the warm air. It is a place of connection, of gentle intimacy. Strangers become friends. Friends become confidants. The boundaries of the outside world blur and soften. You are simply one among many, a part of the living, breathing city after a time. You rise and move to the caldarium, the hot room, here. The heat is intense, almost overwhelming. Steam billows from a great basin. Swirling in the golden light, your skin prickles, sweat beads on your brow. You dip a ladle into the water. Pour it over your shoulders. The sensation is both shocking and soothing. A sudden rush of warmth, followed by a deep, lingering comfort. You feel the oil begin to loosen. The dust and fatigue of the morning melting away. A slave approaches, carrying a strigil, a curved metal tool. Smooth and cool, with practiced hands, he scrapes the oil from your skin. The motion is gentle, rhythmic, almost hypnotic. With each stroke, you feel lighter, cleaner, as if the very weight of the world is being lifted from your shoulders. It is an act of care, of service, of quiet dignity. You thank him with a nod, a soft word. He smiles and moves on. You are left with a sense of gratitude, of connection. For in this place, even the smallest gestures are woven into the fabric. Of community, you linger in the caldarium, letting the heat work its magic. Your thoughts drift, unmoored. You remember stories you have heard, of emperors and senators, of poets and philosophers, all gathering in these same rooms. You imagine the conversations that have echoed here, the secrets whispered, the alliances forged. The bath is a place of power, of politics, of intrigue, but it is also, always, a place of peace, a sanctuary from the storms of life. You feel the truth of this in your bones, a quiet wisdom, passed down through generations. When the heat becomes too much, you move to the frigidarium. The cold room here, the air is crisp, the water shockingly cool. You plunge into the pool, gasping as the cold bites at your skin. For a moment, you are utterly awake, every sense alive. Then, slowly, the chill fades, replaced by a deep, steady calm. You float on your back, staring up at the painted ceiling. Scenes of gods and heroes, of rivers and forests, unfold above you. You feel small, and yet, somehow, infinite, a single drop in the vast ocean of Roman life. You let yourself drift, weightless. The world is quiet, the water cradling you. You could stay here forever, but the day calls and you must answer. You rise from the pool, water streaming from your hair, your skin tingling. You wrap yourself in a linen cloth, soft and warm. You move back through the tepidarium, the apoditerium. You dress slowly, savoring the feel of clean skin, the gentle weight of your tunic. You step out into the sunlight. Blinking, the world seems brighter, sharper. The city is alive with sound and color. You feel renewed, reborn, ready to face whatever the day may bring. But the bath is more than a place of cleanliness. It is a place of belonging, a place where the boundaries between rich and poor, citizen and slave, old and young, are softened. Here, all are equal, all are welcome. It is a lesson in humility, in community, a reminder that, in the end, we are all simply bodies seeking warmth, comfort, connection. You carry this lesson with you as you walk through the city. You notice the way people greet each other, the way they pause to share a word, a smile. You see the quiet kindnesses, the small acts of generosity, a loaf of bread shared, a jug of water offered, a hand extended in friendship. These are the true treasures of Rome, not the gold of emperors, nor the marble of temples, but the simple, everyday acts of care and connection, the gentle weaving of lives into a single shimmering tapestry. You would not last a day, perhaps, not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently communal. because it asks you to let go of your solitude, your separateness, to become for a moment a part of something greater, to surrender to the slow, patient rhythm of shared life. It is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful, a lesson that lingers long after the water has dried from your skin. As you walk through the city, the scent of olive oil and herbs still clinging to you, you feel a quiet sense of belonging, a sense that, for this moment, you are not alone. You are part of the living, breathing heart of Rome. And as the day unfolds, you find yourself drawn onward to the next gentle revelation, where the art of art, Roman food, and the rituals of the table will invite you to taste the flavors of an ancient world, a world where every meal is a celebration, every bite a memory, and every gathering a quiet act of love. The sunlight, now higher in the sky, spills across the city in golden sheets. Warming the stones beneath your feet, you walk slowly, the memory of the baths still lingering on your skin, the scent of olive oil and herbs, a gentle reminder of the morning's ritual. The city is alive with movement, with the soft clatter of carts, the low hum of voices, the distant laughter of children weaving through the narrow streets. You follow the flow of people, drawn by a new current, one that leads not to water, but to the table, to the quiet, ancient art of sharing a meal. In Rome, food is more than sustenance. It is a language, a ritual, a way of weaving lives together. The day's first meal, the entaculum, is simple, a quiet affair. You remember the taste of coarse bread, dipped in olive oil, the sweetness of dried figs, the tang of goat's cheese. There is no rush, no urgency, only the slow, patient enjoyment of honest flavors. You sit on a low stool, the table before you bare, but for a wooden plate, a clay cup, a small bowl of olives. The bread is dense, the crust rough beneath your fingers, the crumb soft and yielding. You tear off a piece, savoring the earthy aroma, the faint smokiness from the communal oven. The oil glistens in the morning light, green, gold, and fragrant, pressed from olives grown on distant hillsides. You dip the bread, watch it soak up the oil, and take a bite. The flavor is rich, grassy, a little bitter, a little sweet. It is a taste that speaks of sun and soil, of patient hands and ancient trees. Around you, others eat in silence or in soft conversation. A mother shares her bread with a child, breaking off small pieces, dipping them in oil. An old man chews slowly, his eyes half closed, lost in memory. A group of laborers laugh quietly, passing a gate jug of watered wine, their faces flushed with the promise of the day ahead. There is a sense of community here, a gentle intimacy. The meal is not a private act, but a shared one, a moment of connection. You feel it in the way people glance at each other, in the soft murmur of voices, in the quiet satisfaction that settles over the table like a warm blanket. The Romans do not eat alone, not if they can help it. To share a meal is to share life, to acknowledge the bonds that tie you to others, even the poorest citizen. The humblest slave finds a place at the table, a crust of bread, a handful of olives, a cup of wine. These are the gifts of the earth, to be shared, not hoarded. You watch as a neighbor offers a fig to a passing child, as a woman pours a little wine into a friend's cup. These small gestures, so easily overlooked, are the true heart of Roman hospitality, a quiet generosity, a gentle weaving of lives. As the day unfolds, the city's appetite grows. The midday meal, the prandium, is a little more substantial. You find yourself in a bustling tavern, the air thick with the scent of roasting meat, of herbs and garlic, of fresh bread and sharp cheese. The room is dim, the walls stained with smoke, the tables crowded with merchants and craftsmen, with travelers and townsfolk. You take a seat at a long wooden table, the surface scarred and stained by years of use. A serving girl brings a bowl of lentil stew, thick and fragrant, flecked with bits of carrot and onion. You dip your spoon, taste the earthy sweetness of the lentils, the sharpness of the herbs, the warmth of the broth. It is a simple dish, but nourishing, comforting. You eat slowly, savoring each bite, letting the flavors linger on your tongue. There is no rush, no sense of urgency. The meal is a pause, moment of rest in the midst of the day's labor. You listen to the conversations around you, the soft rise and fall of voices, the laughter, the quiet sighs of satisfaction. A merchant boasts of a good bargain. A craftsman tells a story of a difficult customer. A group of friends debate the merits of different wines. The air is thick with the scent of food, with the warmth of bodies, with the gentle hum of shared life. You notice the way people eat, the care with which they break their bread, the patience with which they savor each bite. There is a reverence here, a quiet gratitude. Food is not taken for granted, not in a world where hunger is never far away. Every meal is a celebration, a reminder of the earth's bounty, of the labor that brings food to the table. You think of the farmers who rise before dawn, tending their fields, of the bakers who knead dough in the dark, of the fishermen who cast their nets in the chill of morning. Their work is woven into every bite, every sip, every crumb. The Romans are not extravagant eaters, not in the way you might imagine. For most, the diet is simple, shaped by the seasons, by the land, by necessity. Bread, olives, cheese, fruit, beans, lentils, fish, a little meat on special days. Wine, always watered, never drunk neat. Honey for sweetness, herbs for flavor. The meals are modest, but there is a quiet artistry in their preparation, a patience, a care. You taste it in the stew, in the bread, in the wine. You feel it in the way people linger at the table, in the way they talk and laugh and share. As the afternoon drifts by, the city grows quieter, the heat settling over the streets like a soft blanket. Shops close, the market's empty, people retreat indoors for a brief rest. You find a shady spot beneath a fig tree, the leaves casting dappled shadows on the ground. You close your eyes, listen to the distant hum of the city, the soft rustle of leaves, the gentle cooing of doves. You feel the weight of the meal in your belly, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the slow, patient rhythm of the day. When evening comes, the city stirs again. The cena, the main meal, is a time of gathering, of celebration. Families and friends come together, the table set with care, the lamps lit, the air filled with the scent of roasting meat, of herbs and spices, of fresh bread and sweet wine. You are invited to join, to take your place at the table. You sit among strangers who feel, for this moment, like family. The meal unfolds in courses, each one a small delight. A platter of olives, glistening and briny, a bowl of salad, crisp and fresh, a dish of fish, tender and fragrant, a roast of pork, rich and savory. There are vegetables stewed and seasoned, beans and lentils, cheese and fruit. The wine flows, watered and mild, the conversation gentle, the laughter soft. You eat slowly, savoring each bite, each flavor, each moment. There is no rush, no sense of urgency. The meal is a celebration, a ritual, a way of honoring the day, of giving thanks for its gifts. You listen to stories, to jokes, to quiet confessions. You watch as children doze in their mothers' laps, as old friends clasp hands, as lovers exchange shy glances. The table is a place of belonging, of safety, of love. As the meal draws to a close, a platter of fruit is passed around. Figs and grapes, apples and pears, a dish of honey, golden and thick, is set in the center. You dip a fig, taste the sweetness, the sun-warmed flesh, the sticky honey. It is a taste that lingers, a memory of summer, of laughter, of home. The lamps burn low. The conversation softens. People linger, reluctant to leave the warmth of the table, the comfort of company. You feel a quiet contentment, a sense of peace. You are full, not just in body, but in spirit. You have tasted the flavors of Rome, the quiet artistry of its food, the gentle generosity of its people. You would not last a day, perhaps, not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently communal, because it asks you to let go of your solitude, your separateness, to become for a moment a part of something greater, too. Surrender to the slow, patient rhythm of shared life. It is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful. A lesson that lingers long after the meal is done, as the night deepens and the city settles into quiet. You find yourself drawn onward to the next gentle revelation, where the mysteries of Roman sleep and the rituals of rest will invite you to close your eyes, to dream, and to drift into the soft embrace of an ancient night. As the last embers of conversation fade and the lamps burn low, the city of Rome begins to soften at the edges, the sounds of laughter and footsteps growing distant, replaced by the gentle hush of night. You step out into the cool air, the sky, above deepening to a velvet blue, the stars just beginning to shimmer. The streets are quieter now, the bustle of the day giving way to a slower, softer rhythm. You walk slowly, your senses attuned to the subtle changes, the way the air feels cooler against your skin, the way the shadows lengthen and merge, the way the city seems to breathe, settling into itself, preparing for rest. In the Roman world, sleep is not merely a necessity, but a ritual, a gentle surrender to the mysteries of the night, the days. Labors and joys, its worries and hopes, are set aside, folded away like garments at the end of a long journey. You find your way home, the insulae rising above you, their windows glowing softly, the scent of oil lamps and cooling bread drifting through the air. You climb the worn steps, each one familiar beneath your feet. The door creaks open, and you are greeted by the quiet comfort of your own small space. The walls painted with faded colors, the floor swept clean, the simple bed waiting in the corner, a straw mattress covered with linen, a woolen blanket folded neatly at the foot. You sit for a moment, letting the silence settle around you. The city's distant heartbeat, a gentle reminder that you are never truly alone. You light a small lamp, its flame flickering, casting golden patterns on the walls. You wash your face and hands in a basin of cool water, the touch refreshing. A quiet act of care, you change into a simple tunic, the fabric soft against your skin. You kneel before the household gods, the Lauries and Penetis, their tiny figures watching from their niche. You offer a whispered prayer, a pinch of grain, a drop of wine, a gesture of gratitude for the day's blessings, a hope for peaceful dreams. The rituals of sleep are simple, but they are woven with meaning, each gesture a thread in the tapestry of Roman life. You lie down, the mattress yielding beneath you, the blanket pulled up to your chin, the lamp extinguished, the room bathed in darkness. Outside, the city murmurs softly, the distant bark of a dog, the creak of a cart, the low hum of voices drifting. Up from the street, you close your eyes, your breath slowing, your body relaxing, the cares of the day slipping away like water through your fingers. Sleep in Rome is not always easy. The city is alive. Even at night, the insulae are crowded, the walls thin, the sounds of neighbors close and familiar. You hear the soft rustle of straw, the quiet sighs of those around you, the gentle rhythm of breathing. Sometimes the night is restless, the air thick with heat, the mattress lumpy, the blanket scratchy. You shift and turn, seeking comfort, seeking rest. But even in these moments, there is a sense of belonging, a sense that you are part of something larger, a community of dreamers, each one carried on the same slow tide of sleep. For the wealthy, sleep is a different affair. Their homes, the domus, are spacious and quiet, the walls thick, the rooms cool and dark, the beds soft, layered with cushions and fine linens, the air scented with lavender and rose. Slaves move silently through the halls, tending lamps, drawing curtains, preparing the master's chamber for rest. The rituals are more elaborate, but the essence is the same. A gentle surrender, a letting go, a trust in the night to heal and restore. Children drift into sleep with stories whispered by mothers and grandmothers, tales of gods and heroes, of distant lands and ancient battles. Their eyes grow heavy, their dreams bright and wild. Lovers share quiet words in the darkness, hands entwined, hearts beating in time. Old men and women remember the days of their youth, the faces of those long gone. The city holds them all, cradling their dreams in its ancient arms. The Romans believe that dreams are messages, gifts from the gods, omens and warnings, hopes and fears woven into the fabric of sleep. In the morning, dreams are shared, discussed, pondered. A strange vision, a familiar face, a journey through unknown lands. Each dream is a puzzle, a story waiting to be told. You remember your own dreams, the way they shimmer at the edge of waking, half remembered, half forgotten. You wonder what they mean, what secrets they hold. The night deepens, the city grows quieter still. The moon rises, casting silver light across the rooftops. The air is cool, the world hushed. You drift in and out of sleep, your thoughts soft and wandering. You dream of gardens and rivers, of distant voices and gentle laughter. You feel the slow, steady pulse of the city beneath you, the ancient heart of Rome, beating in time with your own. Sometimes the night brings storms, thunder rolling across the hills, rain drumming on the tiles, lightning illuminating the city in brief, brilliant flashes. You lie awake, listening to the storm, feeling the power of the elements, the fragility of your own small life. But even in the wildest night, there is comfort. The walls shelter you, the blanket warms you, the city holds you close. As dawn approaches, the sky lightens. The first birds begin to sing, the city stirs, the cycle begins anew. You wake slowly, the dreams of the night fading. Like mist, you stretch, yawn, rise from your bed, the rituals of morning waiting to greet you. The day ahead full of promise, full of possibility. You would not last a day, perhaps, not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently rhythmic, because it asks you to surrender to its pace, to trust in its rituals, to find comfort in the small, everyday acts of care. And connection, it is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful, a lesson that lingers. Long after the night has passed, as the city wakes, and the first light of morning spills across the rooftops, you find yourself drawn onward to the next gentle revelation, where the art of Roman clothing and the quiet language of fabric and form will invite you to wrap yourself in the colors and textures of an ancient world, a world where every garment tells a story, and every thread is a memory. As the city's pace slows and the golden light of afternoon spills across the rooftops, you find yourself drawn to a quieter corner of Rome, a place where the sounds of hammers and voices fade, replaced by the soft murmur of learning, the gentle scratch of stylus on wax, the low hum of recitation. Here, in the shadow of temples and markets, the art of education unfolds, a quiet pursuit, a patient gathering of knowledge, a world where every question is a doorway and every answer a new beginning. You walk slowly, the streets narrowing, the air cooler, the noise of the city receding. You pass a group of children, their tunics bright, their faces eager. They carry wax tablets and styluses, their laughter light as they hurry toward the domus of their teacher, the literator. The doorway is open, the room within filled with the soft glow of afternoon, the walls lined with shelves of scrolls, the floor swept clean, the air scented with ink and parchment. You pause at the threshold, listening, watching, feeling the gentle pull of curiosity. The teacher sits at the front, his voice calm, his manner patient. He guides his students through the mysteries of letters and numbers, of stories and songs. The children repeat his words, their voices rising, and falling in a gentle rhythm. They trace letters in the wax, their hands steady, their eyes bright. Mistakes are met with kindness, Corrections offered with a smile. Learning is a slow unfolding, a gentle awakening, a process of discovery, of wonder, of quiet pride. For most, education is simple, practical, a way to prepare for the world. Boys and girls learn to read and write, to count and calculate, to recite the stories of gods and heroes, the laws of the city, the customs of their people. The lessons are woven with patience, with repetition, with care. You watch as a boy struggles with a difficult word, his brow furrowed, his lips moving silently. The teacher kneels beside him, offers a gentle word, a guiding hand. The boy tries again, his face brightening as he succeeds. A small victory, a quiet joy. For the wealthy, education is a privilege, a path to power, to wisdom, to the life of the mind. Their sons are sent to the grammaticus, the teacher of literature, of poetry, of history. The room is larger, the shelves crowded with scrolls, the air thick with the scent of ink and old paper. The students sit in a circle, their voices soft, their eyes intent. They read the words of Homer and Virgil, of Cicero and Livy. They discuss the meaning of virtue, of honor, of duty. Their minds, sharpened by debate, their hearts stirred by the beauty of language. The power of story. You listen as a student recites a passage from the Aeneid, his voice trembling with emotion. The others nod, their faces thoughtful. The teacher smiles, his eyes kind. He asks a question. The students ponder, discuss, argue gently. The room is alive with ideas, with questions, with the quiet thrill of discovery. You feel the wonder of it, the sense that knowledge is a treasure, a gift, a light in the darkness. Girls, too, are taught. Though their lessons are different, they learn to read and write, to manage a household, to spin and weave, to care for children, to honor the gods. Their education is practical, rooted in the rhythms of daily life, but there is beauty in it, a quiet dignity, a sense of purpose. You watch as a mother teaches her daughter to read a recipe, to write a letter, to recite a prayer. Their voices soft, their hands busy, their hearts full of love. Education is not confined to the classroom. The city itself is a teacher. The streets are filled with lessons, with stories, with wonders. You see a father showing his son the forum, explaining the laws, the statues, the history of Rome. You watch as a group of children gather around a storyteller in the marketplace, their eyes wide, their mouths open in awe. The stories are old, but they are new to each listener. Each one a seed planted in the fertile soil of the mind. For some, education continues into adulthood. The pursuit of knowledge, a lifelong journey. Philosophers gather in gardens and porticos, their voices low, their questions deep. They discuss the nature of the soul, the meaning of justice, the mysteries of the stars. Their words drift on the breeze, soft and thoughtful. A gentle invitation to wonder, to seek, to dream. You listen, your heart stirred by the beauty of their thoughts, the quiet courage of their questions. You notice the tools of learning, the wax tablets, the styluses, the scrolls of papyrus and parchment, the ink pots, the reed pens, each one a bridge between mind and world, a way of capturing thought, of preserving memory, of sharing wisdom. You see the care with which a student copies a line of poetry, the pride in a well-written letter, the joy in a story well told. Learning is not a race, not a competition, but a journey, a slow unfolding, a gentle awakening. You would not last a day, perhaps, not because the world is harsh, but because it is. So quietly, insistently curious, because it asks you to wonder, to question, to seek, to find joy in the unknown, to see every moment as a chance to learn, to grow, to become. It is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful, a lesson that lingers long after the books are closed, the lessons ended, the day's learning done. As the sun sets and the city glows with the soft light of evening, you find yourself drawn onward to the next gentle revelation, where the art of Roman religion and the quiet rituals of faith will invite you to step into the temples, to listen to the prayers, to feel the presence of the divine woven into the very heart of the city, a world where every day is sacred and every moment a quiet offering. As the sun slips lower, painting the city in soft amber and rose, you find yourself drawn by a different kind of hush, a quiet that is not emptiness, but presence, a gentle reverence that settles over the stones and columns, the streets and courtyards. You follow the flow of people, their steps slow, their voices hushed, their faces turned toward the temples that rise above the city, their marble columns glowing in the evening light. The air is thick with the scent of incense, the faint sweetness of flowers, the distant echo of chanted prayers. Rome is a city of many gods, each one honored, each one woven into the fabric of daily life. Every street, every home, every heart touched by the sacred, you walk beneath the shadow of a great temple, its steps worn smooth by countless feet, its doors open wide, the interior cool and dim, the air heavy with the weight of centuries. You pause at the threshold, feeling the shift in the air, the way the world seems to slow, to soften, to listen. Inside, the walls are lined with statues, their faces serene, their eyes gazing into eternity. The altar is draped with garlands, the floor scattered with petals. A priest moves quietly, his robes trailing, his hands gentle as he tends the flame. The light flickers, casting shadows that dance across the marble. You watch as a woman kneels, her head bowed, her lips moving in silent prayer. She offers a handful of grain, a cup of wine, a small token of hope, of gratitude, of longing. The rituals of Roman religion are woven into every day, every moment. The gods are everywhere, in the hearth and the field, in the river and the sky, in the laughter of children and the silence of night. You see small shrines at every corner, tiny altars tucked into doorways, garlands of flowers, bowls of fruit, coins left as offerings, philaries and penates. The household gods are honored with every meal, every journey, every new beginning. Their presence a quiet comfort, a gentle reminder that you are never truly alone. Festivals fill the calendar, each one a celebration, a pause in the rhythm of work and worry, a chance to gather, to feast, to honor the gods with music and dance. You hear the distant sound of flutes, the laughter of children, the soft murmur of prayers rising like smoke into the evening air. The city is alive with color, with joy, with the quiet certainty that the world is held in the hands of the divine. You watch as people light lamps, their flames flickering in the dusk, each one a small beacon of hope, a promise that the night will pass, that the sun will rise again. The priests and priestesses move through the city with quiet dignity, their robes white, their faces calm. They tend the temples, care for the sacred fires, lead the rituals that mark the turning of the seasons, the passage of time. Their work is patient, unseen, a gentle weaving of the sacred into the everyday. You see a priest blessing a child, a priestess offering bread to the hungry, their gestures simple, their words soft, their presence a quiet reassurance, a reminder that the gods are near, that the world is full of meaning, of mystery, of grace. You notice the way people pray, the way they pause at a shrine, touch the stone, whisper a hope, a fear, a dream, the way they offer thanks for a safe journey, a good harvest, a child's laughter, the way they seek comfort in times of sorrow, guidance in times of doubt. The rituals are simple, but they are filled with meaning, each gesture a thread in the tapestry of faith, each prayer a bridge between earth and sky. You feel the quiet power of these moments, the way they shape the day, the way they linger in the heart. For the Romans, religion is not a matter of belief alone, but of practice, of presence, of participation. The gods are honored not just in temples, but in kitchens and gardens, in workshops and fields, every act, every word, every breath a potential offering, a chance to honor the sacred, to invite the divine into the ordinary. You see a baker blessing his bread, a farmer pouring wine on the earth, a mother teaching her child to light a lamp, each act a quiet prayer, a gentle affirmation that the world is alive, that every moment is holy, the city itself is a temple. Its streets and squares, its fountains and arches, each one a place of meeting, of gathering, of celebration. You walk through the Forum, the heart of Rome, the air alive with voices, with laughter, with the soft murmur of prayers. The temples rise around you, their columns reaching toward the sky, their doors open to all. You feel the presence of the past, the weight of tradition, the quiet hope of the future. You are part of something vast, something ancient, something enduring. You would not last a day, perhaps not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently sacred, because it asks you to see the world with new eyes, to find the divine in the ordinary, to honor the mysteries that shape your days, your nights, your dreams. It is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful, a lesson that lingers long after the prayers are spoken, the lamps extinguished, the festivals ended, as the stars begin to appear, and the city glows with the soft light of evening. You find yourself drawn onward to the next gentle revelation, where the art of Roman entertainment and the quiet joy of gathering will invite you to sit among friends and strangers, to listen to music, to watch the dancers, to feel the laughter and wonder that fill the spaces between work and worship, a world where every story is a gift and every moment a celebration. As the stars gather above the city and the air cools with the promise of night, Rome's heart beats with a different kind of energy, a gentle anticipation, a quiet joy that stirs in the courtyards and streets. You follow the soft glow of lanterns, the distant sound of music, the laughter that drifts on the evening breeze. The city, so full of labor and ritual, now opens itself to pleasure, to wonder, to the simple delight of being together. The world of Roman entertainment is not always grand, not always loud, but it is woven into the fabric of daily life, a gentle thread of celebration that binds the city's people in moments of shared joy. You walk slowly, the stones cool beneath your feet, the air alive with the scent of roasting chestnuts, of sweet wine, of flowers gathered for garlands. You pass a group of children playing in the street, their laughter bright, their games simple, a ball tossed, a rhyme sung, a race run beneath the watchful eyes of parents and neighbors. The joy is infectious, a reminder that happiness is often found in the smallest moments, the quietest corners. You pause to watch, to listen, to let the sound of laughter settle in your heart. In the courtyards and gardens, families gather, friends meet, neighbors share stories. The lamps are lit, the tables set with fruit and bread, with wine and cheese. The air is filled with music, the soft strumming of a lyre, the gentle notes of a flute, the rhythm of hands clapping in time. Someone begins to sing, their voice rising, clear and sweet. Others join in, the melody weaving through the night, a tapestry of sound and memory. You sit among them, a stranger welcomed, a guest at the table of joy. You taste the wine, the sweetness of grapes warmed by the sun, the bread still fragrant from the oven, the fruit cool and juicy. Each bite a celebration, each sip a blessing. The Romans love stories, and the evening is filled with them. Tales of gods and heroes, of clever slaves and foolish masters, of lost loves and found fortunes. The storyteller's voice is soft, his gestures gentle, his eyes bright with mischief. The children listen wide-eyed, the adults laugh quietly. The stories are old, but they are new each time they are told, shaped by the teller, colored by the night. You feel the power of story, the way it brings people together, the way it turns strangers into friends, the way it makes the world a little brighter, a little kinder, For those who seek grander pleasures, the city offers spectacles. The theater, the circus, the amphitheater. Places where the boundaries of daily life are set aside. Where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, you walk toward the theater, its columns rising in the moonlight, the crowd gathering, their faces alight with anticipation. The seats are stone, cool and smooth. The stage is set. The actors ready, the play begins. A comedy, a tragedy, a farce. The words are sharp, the gestures broad, the laughter loud, the applause warm. You watch entranced, the world of the play unfolding before you. A mirror of your own, a dream within. A dream. The circus is a world of its own. The roar of the crowd, the thunder of hooves, the flash of color as chariots race around the track. The excitement is palpable, the air electric. You feel the thrill, the danger, the joy of competition, the pride of victory, the grace of skill. The crowd cheers, the drivers wave, the horses prance, the dust rises, the sun sets. The spectacle lingers in your mind, a memory of speed, of courage, of the wild beauty of the race. In the amphitheater, the games unfold. Athletes compete, musicians play, dancers spin and leap, their movements graceful, their costumes bright. The crowd watches, their faces rapt, their voices rising in encouragement, in awe. The performances are a gift, a celebration of the body, of the spirit, of the endless possibilities of art and play. You feel the energy, the joy, the sense of belonging, of being part of something larger, something shared. But not all entertainment is public. Not all joy is loud. In the quiet of the home, families gather around the hearth, sharing stories, playing games, singing songs. The fire crackles, the shadows dance. The night is gentle, the world soft. You watch as a mother teaches her child a new song, as a father carves a toy from wood, as friends share a joke, a memory, a dream. These moments are small, but they are precious, the true heart of Roman joy. You notice the way people celebrate, the way they find pleasure in the ordinary, in the taste of good food, in the sound of music, in the warmth of company, the way they honor the gods with laughter, with dance, with song, the way they turn every gathering into a festival, every meal into a feast, every night into a memory. There is a generosity here, a willingness to share, to welcome, to include. You feel it in the way you are greeted, in the way you are offered a seat, a cup, a story, a smile. You would not last a day, perhaps, not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently joyful, because it asks you to open your heart, to join the dance, to find delight in the simple, the ordinary, the everyday. It is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful, a lesson that lingers long after the music fades, the lamps are extinguished, the night grows still. As the city settles into sleep and the stars wheel overhead, you find yourself drawn onward to the next gentle revelation, where the art of Roman health and the quiet mysteries of ancient medicine will invite you to walk the corridors of healing, to listen to the wisdom of herbs and hands, to feel the hope and care that flow through the veins of a city always seeking balance, always yearning for well-being. As the city settles into the hush of night, and the last echoes of laughter fade into the gentle darkness, you find yourself thinking of the body, of its quiet needs, its hidden strengths, its secret frailties. In Rome, health is both a hope and a challenge, a daily dance with the unseen, a careful tending of the self, the family, the community. You walk slowly through the quiet streets, the air cool and still, the lamps flickering in the doorways, the scent of herbs and smoke drifting on the breeze. The city, so full of life, is also a place of care, of healing, of ancient wisdom passed from hand to hand, from heart to heart. You pass a small shop, its door open to the night, the shelves lined with jars and bottles, with bundles of dried leaves, with pots of honey and oil. The physician, the medicus, sits at his table, his eyes thoughtful, his hands steady. He listens to the worries of his patients, their aches and fevers, their wounds and fears. His voice is calm, his manner gentle. He asks questions, listens closely, offers comfort as much as cure. His tools are simple: a bronze scalpel, a clay cup, a mortar and pestle. His knowledge is deep, drawn from books and teachers, from experience and observation, from the long, slow study of the body and its mysteries. The remedies are many, some familiar, some strange. A tea of chamomile for sleeplessness, a poultice of honey and herbs for wounds, a draught of wine mixed with poppy for pain. The wisdom of the Greeks mingles with the traditions of Rome, the teachings of Hippocrates and Galen, the old stories of Cato and Pliny. The city is a crossroads of knowledge, a place where ideas meet and mingle, where every ailment is met with patience, with hope, with the quiet courage of those who seek to heal. You watch as a mother brings her child to the medicus, the boy's face flushed with fever, his eyes bright with worry. The physician examines him gently, his hands cool and sure. He listens to the child's breath, feels his pulse, asks about his dreams, his fears, his joys. The mother waits, her hands folded, her heart full. The physician prepares a remedy, a mixture of herbs and honey, a prayer to the gods, a promise of care. The child drinks, the mother smiles, the physician nods. The night is a little less dark, a little more hopeful. In the home, health is tended with quiet diligence. The kitchen is a place of healing as much as of nourishment. Garlic and onions, honey and vinegar, mint and sage, each one a remedy, a comfort, a hope. You see a woman brewing a tea for her husband's cough, a grandmother rubbing oil into a child's sore muscles, a father teaching his son to wash his hands, to keep the house clean, to honor the gods of health. The rituals are simple, but they are filled with care, with love, with the quiet wisdom of generations. The baths, too, are places of healing, the warm water soothing tired muscles, the steam clearing the lungs, the strigil scraping away the dust and worry of the day. You remember the feeling of the water, the way it cradled you, the way it washed away not just dirt, but fatigue, but sorrow, but fear. The baths are a sanctuary, a place where the body is honored, where health is tended, where the spirit is renewed. But not all ailments can be cured. Not all wounds can be healed. The city knows sickness, knows loss, knows the quiet ache of grief. You hear stories of plagues, of fevers that sweep through the streets, of healers who work through the night, their hands steady, their hearts strong. You see the way neighbors care for each other, the way food is brought to the sick, the way prayers are offered, the way hope is kindled. Even in the darkest times, there is a resilience here, a quiet strength, a belief that healing is possible, that care is never wasted, that every act of kindness is a balm. You notice the small rituals of health, the way people greet the dawn with a cup of water, the way they walk in the gardens, breathe the fresh air, stretch their limbs, the way they honor the gods of health, Silas and Aesculapius, with offerings of fruit and flowers, with prayers for strength, for balance, for peace. You see the way children are taught to care for their bodies, to eat well, to rest, to play, to listen to the wisdom of their elders. The way the city itself is designed for health, the aqueducts bringing fresh water, the sewers carrying waste away, the streets swept clean, the markets filled with food, the baths open to all. For the wealthy, health is a luxury, a privilege. Their homes are spacious, their food abundant, their physicians always near. But even here, there is no escape from the frailty of the body, from the uncertainty of life. You see a matron tending her garden, her hands gentle, her eyes wise. She knows the value of herbs, of rest, of laughter. She teaches her daughters to care for the sick, to comfort the dying, to honor the cycles of life and death. Her wisdom is quiet, but it is deep, a wellspring of hope in a world that is always changing. You would not last a day, perhaps, not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently attentive, because it asks you to care, to notice, to tend, to honor the body as a gift, a mystery, a vessel of hope and joy and sorrow. It is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful, a lesson that lingers long after the remedies are given, the wounds are healed, the night has passed, as the first light of dawn touches the city, and the world stirs with new hope. You find yourself drawn onward to the next gentle revelation, where the art of Roman family and the quiet strength of kinship will invite you to step inside the home, to listen to the stories, to feel the bonds that hold a city, a people, a world together, a world where every heart is a hearth, and every life a thread in the tapestry of belonging. As the first light of dawn touches the city, and the world stirs with new hope, you find yourself drawn to the heart of every Roman life, the home, the domus, the insula, the place where the day begins and ends, where laughter and sorrow, work and rest are woven together in the quiet tapestry of family. You walk slowly through the waking streets, the air cool and fresh, the sky painted with the soft colors of morning. You hear the gentle sounds of life unfolding, the clatter of pots, a murmur of voices, the soft cry of a child. The city is vast, but it is made of homes, of families, of hearts beating in time. You step inside a modest insula, the stairway narrow, the walls close, the air filled with the scent of bread and herbs. The rooms are small, but they are alive. A mother stirs a pot over the fire, her hands steady, her eyes bright with love. A father mends a sandal, his fingers nimble, his voice low as he tells a story to his son. A grandmother braids a girl's hair, her touch gentle, her words soft. The children laugh, their voices rising. Like birdsong, the family gathers around the table, the meal simple but shared, every bite a blessing, every word a thread in the fabric of belonging. The Romans cherish family, not just as a bond of blood, but as a foundation of life, a source of strength, of comfort, of identity. The paterfamilias, the father, is the head of the household, his word law, his duty clear, to protect, to provide, to guide, but his power is tempered by love, by responsibility, by the quiet wisdom of the women who share his home. The materfamilias, the mother, is the heart of the family, her hands shaping the day, her voice soothing the night, her care a constant presence, a gentle force that holds the world together. Children are cherished, their laughter a joy, their learning a hope. They are taught the ways of the family, the stories of their ancestors, the customs of their people. They help with the work, they share in the play, they learn to honor the gods, to respect their elders, to care for each other. You watch as a boy helps his sister tie her sandals, as a girl brings water to her grandmother, as a father lifts his child high, their faces bright with trust, with love, with the quiet certainty that they belong. The home is a place of ritual, of memory, of celebration. The household gods, the Lares and Penates, are honored with every meal, every journey, every new beginning. Their small statues stand in a niche, their presence a comfort, a reminder that the family is never alone, that the past and the future are always near. You see a mother light a lamp, her hands steady, her prayer soft, her hope for peace, for health, for happiness. The flame flickers, the room glows, the family gathers close, the world outside fades, the home becomes a sanctuary, a haven, a place of rest. For the wealthy, the domus is grand, its rooms spacious, its gardens lush, its walls painted with scenes of myth and memory. But the heart of the home is the same. The family gathers in the atrium, the central hall, the air cool and shaded. This Fountain murmuring, the slaves move quietly, tending the needs of the household. Their presence a reminder that every life is shaped by many hands. The children play in the garden, their laughter echoing among the columns. The parents sit together, their voices low, their eyes meeting in quiet understanding. The day unfolds in gentle rhythms, in shared work, in shared rest, in the simple, enduring comfort of togetherness. The bonds of family extend beyond the walls of the home, to cousins and aunts, to uncles and grandparents, to friends who become kin. The network of relationships is wide, a web of support, of obligation, of love. You see families gathering for festivals, for weddings, for funerals, their faces bright with joy or shadowed with grief, but always together, always holding each other close. The city is a mosaic of families, each one unique, each one essential, each one a thread in the great tapestry of Rome. You notice the small acts of care, the way a mother wipes a child's face, the way a father teaches his son to carve wood, the way a grandmother tells a story, her voice soft, her eyes shining, the way siblings quarrel and make peace, the way neighbors share bread, the way friends offer help. These moments are quiet, but they are the true heart of Roman life, the gentle strength that endures, that comforts, that heals. You would not last a day, perhaps not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently connected, because it asks you to belong, to care, to give and receive, to find your place in the circle of family, in the web of community. It is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful. A lesson that lingers long after the doors are closed, the lamps extinguished, the night grown deep. As the day unfolds and the city moves to the rhythm of work and rest, of laughter and tears, you find yourself drawn onward to the next gentle revelation, where the art of Roman travel and the quiet wonder of the road will invite you to step beyond the city walls, to feel the pull of distant places, to walk the ancient roads that bind the empire together. A world where every journey is a story and every path a promise. As the city stirs to life and the sun climbs higher, you feel the gentle pull of the world beyond the walls, the quiet promise of distant places, the soft invitation of the road in Rome. Travel is both a necessity and a wonder, a way of binding the empire together, of weaving distant lands into a single living tapestry. You step out into the morning light, the air fresh, the sky wide and blue, the city behind you a memory, the road ahead a promise. Your feet find the ancient stones, worn smooth by centuries of travelers, each step a link in the endless chain of journeys, of stories, of dreams. The Roman roads are marvels, straight and true, stretching across hills and valleys, through forests and fields, their surfaces paved with stone, their edges lined with milestones, their paths marked by the quiet rhythm of footsteps, of wheels, of hooves. You walk slowly, feeling the firmness of the stones beneath your sandals, the gentle give of earth at the edges, the world opening before. You, the city fading behind, the countryside unfolding in soft greens and golds, the air alive with the scent of wildflowers, of fresh grass, of distant rain. Travel in Rome is not easy, not comfortable, not swift. The roads are long, the distances great, the sun hot, the nights cool, the journey a test of patience, of endurance, of quiet courage. You pass a group of merchants, their carts piled high, with goods, their faces weathered, their voices low. They greet you with a nod, a word, a smile. You share the road, the dust, the hope of safe arrival. You see soldiers marching, their armor gleaming, their steps measured, their eyes steady. They are the guardians of the road, the keepers of peace, their presence a comfort, a reminder that the empire is vast, but it is held together by order, by discipline, by the quiet strength of those who walk its paths. At the side of the road, you find a small inn, a taberna, its door open, its hearth warm. the air inside thick with the scent of stew, of bread, of wine. Travelers gather here, their faces tired, their voices soft. They share stories, news, laughter, the comfort of company. You sit at a rough wooden table, the surface scarred by years of use. You eat slowly, savoring the simple food, the warmth of the fire, the gentle hum of conversation. The innkeeper moves quietly, her hands sure, her smile kind. She offers bread, a cup of wine, a place to rest. Her hospitality a balm, a reminder that even on the road, you are never truly alone. The journey continues, the road winding through fields of wheat, through groves of olive and fig, through villages where children wave, where farmers pause in their work to greet you. The world is wide, but it is filled with moments of connection, of kindness, of shared humanity. You pass a shepherd tending his flock, his dog at his side, his song drifting on the breeze. See a woman drawing water from a well, her arms strong, her eyes bright. She offers you a drink, a smile, a blessing for the road. These small acts of generosity, of welcome, are the true treasures of travel, the quiet gifts that linger long. After the journey is done, you notice the milestones, the stones set at regular intervals, each one marked with the distance to Rome, the heart of the empire, the center of the world. You feel the weight of history in each step, the knowledge that you are walking the same paths as soldiers and merchants, as poets and pilgrims, as emperors and exiles. The road is a river of memory, a thread that binds the past to the present to the future. You walk in the footsteps of countless others, your journey a part of the endless story of Rome. For the wealthy, travel is a luxury, a chance to visit villas in the countryside, to bathe in the hot springs, to hunt in the forests, to sail on the lakes. Their journeys are comfortable, their carriage is cushioned, their servants attentive. But even here, there is a sense of adventure, a thrill in the unknown, a joy in the discovery of new places, new faces, new stories. You see a family picnicking by the side of the road, their laughter bright, their meal a celebration, their journey a memory in the making. For the poor, travel is harder, the road longer, the comforts fewer, but the hope is the same, the hope of work, of reunion, of a new beginning. You see a group of laborers walking together, their packs light, their spirits high. They sing as they walk, their voices rising in the morning air. Their journey a testament to resilience, to hope, to the quiet courage of those who seek a better life. The road is also a place of danger, of uncertainty, of risk. You hear stories of bandits, of storms, of illness, but you also hear stories of rescue, of kindness, of unexpected friendship. The world is wide, but it is not empty. It is filled with people, with stories, with the quiet strength of those who travel, who endure, who hope. You would not last a day, perhaps, not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently open, because it asks you to step beyond the familiar, to trust the road, to welcome the unknown, to find beauty in the journey, not just the destination. It is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful, a lesson that lingers long after the road ends, the journey is over, the home is reached as the sun sets, and the sky glows with the colors of evening. You find yourself drawn onward to the next gentle revelation, where the art of Roman time and the quiet dance of seasons and festivals will invite you to listen to the heartbeat of the year, to feel the slow turning of days and months, to discover a world where every moment is marked, every season celebrated, every year a story waiting to be told. As the sun sets and the sky glows with the colors of evening, you find yourself listening to the quiet heartbeat of the year, the slow turning of days and months, the gentle dance of seasons that shapes every life in Rome. Time here is not measured by clocks or calendars alone, but by the rhythm of the earth, the cycle of the moon, the rise and fall of the sun. You feel it in the air, in the way the light changes, in the scent of the fields, in the songs of birds, in the laughter of children. Every moment marked, every season celebrated. Every year a story waiting to be told. The Roman calendar is a tapestry, woven with festivals and rituals, with days of work and days of rest, with moments of joy and moments of remembrance. You walk through the city, the streets alive with the signs of the season, garlands of flowers in spring, wreaths of laurel in summer, baskets of fruit in autumn, torches burning bright in the long nights of winter. Each festival a pause, a breath, a chance to gather, to honor the gods, to celebrate. The gifts of the earth, the turning of the wheel. You hear the distant music of the Lupercalia, the wild festival of spring, the laughter of young men running through the streets, the cheers of the crowd, the hope for fertility, for new beginnings. You see the city dressed in green, the air, alive with the scent of fresh leaves, the promise of life returning, the world waking from its winter sleep. You feel the joy, the excitement, the sense of possibility, the quiet hope that every year brings. In summer, the festival of Saturnalia fills the city with light, with laughter, with the gentle chaos of reversal. Masters serve slaves, children wear crowns, gifts are exchanged, songs are sung, the rules of the world turned upside down. If only for a day, you watch as families gather, as friends embrace, as strangers share a meal, the city alive with generosity, with kindness, with the quiet magic of celebration. The lamps burn late into the night, the air filled with music, with stories, with dreams. Autumn brings the harvest, the fields golden, the markets overflowing, the city giving thanks for the bounty of the earth. You see farmers bringing their crops, their faces bright with pride, their hands full of grain, of fruit, of hope. The festival of Consuelia honors the god of the harvest, the horses and mules crowned with flowers, the people dancing in the fields, the air thick with the scent of bread, of wine, of new beginnings. You taste the sweetness of ripe figs, sharpness of fresh cheese, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the quiet satisfaction of work well done, of gifts well received. Winter is a time of rest, of reflection, of gathering close. The days are short, the nights long, the city wrapped in a hush, the fires burning bright, the homes filled with the scent of pine, of smoke, of hope. You sit by the hearth, listening to stories, to songs, to the quiet wisdom of the old. The festival of Parentalia honors the ancestors, the graves tended, the memories cherished, the family gathered, the past and the present woven together in the soft light of candles, in the gentle warmth of love. The passage of times marked not just by festivals, but by the small rituals of every day, the lighting of a lamp at dusk, the sharing of bread at dawn, the offering of thanks for the gifts of the earth, the hope for peace, for health, for happiness. You notice the way people greet the morning, the way they honor the evening, the way they pause to remember, to celebrate, to hope. Time is not a burden, not a race, but a gift, a rhythm, a song. You see the way the city changes with the seasons, the color shifting, the scents deepening, the sound softening, the pace of life slowing or quickening, the world always in motion, always becoming, always new. You feel the quiet wisdom of the earth, the patience of the sun, the gentle guidance of the moon. The city is a living calendar, its stones and streets, its gardens and fields, each one a marker, a memory, a promise for the Romans. Time is both a circle and a line, a cycle of return and a journey forward. The past honored, the future hoped for, the present cherished. You hear the stories of old, the tales of ancestors, the dreams of children, the hopes of lovers, the prayers of the weary, each one a thread in the fabric of time, each one a note in the song of the year. You would not last a day, perhaps not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently rhythmic, because it asks you to listen, to notice, to honor the turning of the seasons, the passage of days, the beauty of beginnings and endings. It is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful, a lesson that lingers long after the festivals are over, the candles extinguished, the year turned, as the night deepens and the city glows with the soft light of memory. You find yourself drawn onward to the next gentle revelation where the art of Roman friendship and the quiet bonds of trust and loyalty will invite you to sit beside the fire, to share a story, to feel the warmth of a hand in yours, a world where every heart is open and every friendship a treasure. As the night deepens and the city glows with the soft light of memory, you find yourself drawn to the warmth of companionship, the gentle comfort of friendship. In Rome, friendship is a treasure, a quiet bond that weaves through the fabric of full daily life, a source of strength, of joy, of solace. You walk through the quiet streets, the air cool and still, the lamps flickering in the doorways, the sound of laughter drifting from open windows. The city, so vast and busy by day, becomes intimate by night, its heart revealed in the small gatherings, the whispered conversations, the shared silences. You step into a courtyard, the stones cool beneath your feet, the air scented with jasmine and wine. A group of friends sits together, their faces lit by the glow of a single lamp, their voices low, their laughter soft. They share stories, memories, dreams, the worries of the day set aside, the world outside forgotten. For a moment, there is only the circle of light, the warmth of company, the gentle rhythm of voices. You sit among them, a stranger welcomed, a guest at the table of trust. You feel the quiet magic of belonging, the way friendship turns strangers into family, the way it softens the edges of the world. The Romans cherish friendship, not just as a pleasure, but as a necessity, a foundation of life, a source of counsel, of comfort, of joy. You see it in the way people greet each other, the way they pause to share a word, a smile, a touch, the way they offer help, advice, encouragement, the way they celebrate each other's victories, mourn each other's losses, stand together in times of trouble. You watch as a man clasps his friend's hand, as a woman embraces her companion, as children laugh and play, their bonds unspoken, but strong, their trust deep and enduring. Friendship in Rome is marked by ritual, by tradition, by the quiet exchange of gifts, of favors, of promises. You notice the way friends share a meal, the way they pour wine for each other, the way they remember birthdays, anniversaries, the way they honor the gods together, the way they keep each other's secrets, the way they forgive, the way they endure, the way they grow. You hear the stories of famous friendships, of loyalty and sacrifice, of courage and kindness, the tales of Horatius and his companions, of Cicero and Atticus, of women who stand together in joy and in sorrow, their lives woven together by choice, by trust, by love. The city is filled with places of gathering, the baths, the taverns, the gardens, the porticos, each one a stage for friendship, a place where hearts meet, where stories are shared, where laughter echoes. You walk through the forum, the air alive with voices, with greetings, with the gentle music of connection. You see friends debating, arguing, reconciling, their words sharp, their smiles quick, their affection clear. You feel the energy, the joy, the quiet strength that comes from knowing you are not alone, that you are seen, that you are valued. For the wealthy, friendship is also a matter of alliance, of patronage, of obligation. But even here, there is room for true affection, for loyalty, for the quiet comfort of a trusted companion. You see a senator confiding in his friend, his voice low, his eyes tired. You see a matron sharing a secret with her confidant, their laughter soft, their bond unbreakable. You see children forming friendships that will last a lifetime, their games a rehearsal for the joys and challenges to come. For the poor, friendship is a lifeline, a source of support, of hope, of resilience. You see neighbors sharing food, sharing burdens, sharing dreams. You see friends working side by side, their hands calloused, their spirits strong. You see the way they look out for each other, the way they celebrate together, the way they grieve together, the way they hold each other up, the way they carry each other through the storms of life. You notice the small gestures, the way a friend listens, the way a friend remembers, the way a friend forgives, the way a friend stays. These moments are quiet, but they are the true heart of Roman life, the gentle strength that endures, that comforts, that heals. You feel the warmth of the fire, the softness of the night, the gentle weight of friendship settling around you like a cloak. You know that you are safe, that you are cherished, that you belong. You would not last a day, perhaps, not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently open, because it asks you to trust, to share, to give, and to receive, to find your place in the circle of friendship, in the web of connection. It is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful, a lesson that lingers long after the fire is out, the night is silent, the city asleep, as the stars wheel overhead and the city dreams. You find yourself drawn onward to the final gentle revelation, where the art of Roman endings and the quiet wisdom of farewell will invite you to listen to the last stories, to feel the soft closing of the day, to discover a world where every ending is a beginning and every memory a light in the darkness. As the stars wheel overhead and the city dreams, you find yourself walking through the quiet streets, the world softened by darkness, the air cool and gentle, the lamps burning low in the doorways, the last voices fading into silence. Rome, so full of life and noise and color by day, becomes a place of reflection by night, a city wrapped in memory, in hope, in the soft embrace of endings. You walk slowly, your footsteps echoing on the stones, your heart full of the stories you have gathered, the faces you have seen, the lives you have touched. The city is vast, but in this moment it feels close, familiar, a friend whispering secrets in the dark. In Rome, endings are not feared, but honored. Every day is a cycle, every life a journey, every story a thread in the endless tapestry of time. You see it in the way people say goodbye, their farewells gentle, their promises soft, a hand clasped, a kiss on the cheek, a quiet word, a lingering glance. The Romans know that every parting is a beginning, that every ending is a doorway. That memory is a light that never fades. You watch as a family gathers at the threshold, their arms around each other, their voices low, their eyes bright with love. They say goodnight, not as an ending, but as a promise, a hope, a gentle assurance that the morning will come, that the circle will turn, that the story will go on. The city itself is a keeper of endings, its stones worn smooth by countless feet, its walls marked by the passage of years, its temples and arches standing as witnesses to the rise and fall of empires, the laughter and tears of generations. You walk beneath the shadow of an ancient arch, the carvings faded, the names forgotten, but the memory remains, a quiet testament to the endurance of hope, of love, of life. You feel the weight of history, the gentle press of time, the knowledge that you are part of something vast, something beautiful, something that will endure long after you are gone. The Romans honor their dead with care, with ritual, with memory. The funeral is not a moment of despair, but a celebration, a gathering of family and friends, a procession through the streets, the air filled with music, with flowers, with the soft murmur of prayers. The body is laid to rest, the tomb marked with a name, a story, a hope for peace, for remembrance, for the gentle comfort of the gods. You see the way people pause at the graves, their hands resting on the stone, their voices soft, their hearts full. They remember, they honor, they carry the memory forward, a light in the darkness, a promise that love endures. But endings are not only about loss, they are about change, about growth, about the quiet wisdom that comes from letting go. You notice the way the city renews itself, the way old buildings are rebuilt, old stories retold, old wounds healed, the way the seasons turn, the way the river flows, the way the sun rises. Every ending is a beginning, every night a promise. Of dawn, every farewell a hope for reunion. You feel it in the air, in the gentle hush of the city, in the soft glow of the stars, in the quiet beating of your own heart. You remember the lessons of the day, the slow unfolding of morning, the sacred ritual of bathing, the quiet art of meals shared, the gentle embrace of sleep, the language of clothing, the dignity of work, the wonder of learning, the presence of the divine, the joy of gathering, the hope of healing, the strength of family, the adventure of travel, the dance of time, the warmth of friendship, each one a thread, a memory, a gift. You carry them with you, woven into the fabric of your own story, a gentle reminder that you, too, are part of the endless dance of life, of endings and beginnings, of hope and memory. You would not last a day, perhaps not because the world is harsh, but because it is so quietly, insistently alive, because it asks you to listen, to notice, to care, to belong, to trust in the slow turning of time, the gentle wisdom of endings, the quiet promise of new beginnings. It is a lesson that is both humbling and beautiful, a lesson that lingers long after the city sleeps, long after the story is told, long after the last lamp is extinguished. As the night deepens and the city settles into silence, you find yourself at peace, your heart full, your mind quiet, your spirit gently cradled by the memory of Rome. You close your eyes, the world soft around you, the story a gentle whisper, a promise that you are never alone, that every ending is a beginning, that every memory is a light in the darkness. So let the city sleep, let the stars keep watch, let your dreams carry you onward, through the quiet streets, the ancient stones, the endless stories, the gentle wisdom of Rome. And when you wake, may you carry with you the peace, the wonder, the quiet strength of a world that endures, that welcomes, that remembers. Thank you for wandering through the ancient city, for listening to its stories, for letting its gentle rhythms lull you into rest if you wish to return, to listen again, to dream once more of Rome. You are always welcome. Subscribe for more journeys into the soft heart of history, or let another story carry you into sleep. Until then, may your night be peaceful, your dreams bright, and your heart always at home.